You can use beadwork to make different things. So I just wanted to share on my late father's side, this is where this beadwork came from. My jawbone, which would be my great grandmother, made these, and then my kukum on my mom's side made these pieces. My jawbone from up north made this piece, and then this goes here. She made this. I just want to show that there's different ways to bead: loom work, embroidery, peyote stitched, and you can use beadwork to make different things. It doesn't just have to be, it could be mixed mediums, necklaces, medallions, earrings, bracelets, belts. So this piece that I want to talk to you about was, it's got two titles. The first title is Cookum's Teachings. So everything I've ever learned from my grandmothers on both sides of my family, I put into this piece. Everything, right down to, the sequins on here. It's very intricate. When you get a closer look, there's intricate pieces in there. There's a little bit of painting underneath, because for myself, I discovered a little bit of painting, how to mix mediums. So as I was working on this, I was invited to an elders gathering. So I'm working away in the corner. I had everything set up here. Usually I work this way, so I was working hard quietly, and there's like stuff going on all over around me. And someone pulled a chair across from me, and they asked me, do you make men's moccasins? And I was like, no, not right now. I didn't put my head up right away. No, not right now. Well, have you ever made moccasins? I said, yeah. I used to dance, I said, when I was younger, so I learned how to make my own moccasins. And he's like, oh, I'm looking for someone to make me moccasins. And I looked up, and it was Freddie Sasakamoose. And the second title for this piece is Freddie Sasakamoose. And the reason I called it that was the conversation that we had. And I was feeling low at that point. I lost my dad, and I still carry that loneliness. So I was working, I looked up, and it was Freddie. He pulled up a chair, and right away he reminded me of my late dad. Just the way he was talking to me and interested in what I was beading. So I really got really shy, and I kind of went like this, and then he encouraged me to not be so shy and to show him what I was working on. So I handed it over, and he looked at it, and he was, wow, I want this. And then he asked me, would you sell it? And I said, I try not to sell my beadwork. And he said, okay, well, can you make me 3 more pieces? He said, I want it on my jacket. I want it on a jacket, he said, right here, on the back. And then he named 2 other places. I think it was on the arms that he wanted it. And I got really shy. And he gave it back to me. He said, keep going, keep beading. And I got really shy, and I was like, sure, okay, yeah. And then after that, I put it away. I got really, really shy. I put it away. And I didn't tell anybody that story or what happened to me till recently. I was trying to finish it. Sorry. I was trying to finish it for him, but it was too late. He passed away, so. So this piece I created for an ITEP project. It ended up being more than that. I chose red for the background to represent MMIW. The lady that I painted was supposed to be me, but it ended up being more than that. I wanted the person to be looking at it and to see themselves in it. They are wrapped in a scarf, and I want it. It represents woman teachings. We are sacred. We are to be respected. We are life givers. So for women to carry themselves in that way, I chose this piece to bead around. That's an abalone shell, and that's what we use to smudge with. But I thought that would make a great beaded piece. And the florals kind of, the reason I painted them up here, the grandmothers, that's what these two represent, the grandmothers. The ITEP assignment was a question, who am I? So I painted it blank because I'm always changing, I'm always evolving, and I was hoping that people would look at it and take a different interpretation for themselves. My next story involves this walking stick. I was in the ITEP program, and there's actually a dream attached to this walking stick. So my professor at that time was into making different things, but he would bring maybe 8 walking sticks each time we had class. And our class was once a week, and he would ask, who wants a walking stick? Everybody would rush to put their hands up, and I included, and I would never get chosen. I was so hurt, and I kept trying every class, and it was coming down to the very last class, and he said, who wants a walking stick? And that was the first one to put my hand up. I didn't get chosen. And I was so sad. I was like, okay, so it's obviously not meant for me to have a walking stick. Well, we had to have one more class, a makeup class, because of weather. He ended up bringing extra pieces with him. And he asked again, who didn't get a walking stick? And I looked, and I seen there was like 4 of them. And I looked behind, and there was, 2 people had their hands up. And I thought, should I try? Okay, so I put my hand up. And then I got one. I was the last one. He used the one that handed them out. And that's the one that I got. And it's the shape of a needle. I don't know if I can. If you're into beading, this is what, the eye of the needle right here. And then if you're really into beading, sometimes this is what happens to your beading needle. It'll curve. The dream I had about this piece was I was walking with my late dad in a wooded area, and he had asked me, did you get a walking stick yet? I said, no, not yet. I keep trying. I really want one. And he said, well, be patient. You'll get one. Don't rush. I said, okay. And we were walking, and it looked to me like Finlayson Island. I've only been there once, and it was beautiful. Like the leaves were orange and on the ground, and you could hear the crunching as we walked. So when I woke up, I thought, okay, I won't rush it. Even though I kept putting up my hand wanting one, it came to the end of the class. I wasn't chosen. I was sad. And then we had to make up a makeup class. And that's when I was given this. And I was so happy, and it was meant to be. So I traded him. I gave him tobacco, and I beaded a medallion, a turtle medallion. And I gave him that tobacco, and I said, I want to thank you for the walking stick that you chose for me. It, to me, represents beading, And that's what my life revolves around, is beading. And I gave that to him, and he shed some tears. He was so happy. He said, this is the first time anybody's ever given me anything like this. It means a lot to me, and I'll respect it always. So he said a little prayer, and then we made our trade, and that's what this represents for me. So it just ties in all the beading teachings and all that for me.